Minneapolis, Derek Chauvin will return to a downtown Minneapolis courtroom Friday to be sentenced for the murder of George Floyd, a black man who died after being pinned face down on the street with the police officer's knee pressed into his neck for more than 9 minutes. Chauvin, who was fired after the killing and then convicted by a jury in April on charges of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder and second-degree manslaughter, faces up to 40 years in prison. The killing on May 25, 2020, captured on a gruesome viral video, shook the nation and forced a painful reckoning on issues of race and police brutality that continues to play out across a divided America. Chauvin's conviction, a rarity in a country roiled by multiple high-profile cases of black people being killed by police, was praised by Floyd's family and activists as a historic moment of justice and a potential sign of change. While Chauvin will almost certainly receive prison time for Floyd's killing, making him only the second police officer in Minnesota history to be jailed for an on-duty murder and one of less than a dozen officers nationwide, how much time he might serve has become a point of contention. An attorney for Chauvin, who has been held in solitary confinement at a state prison near the Twin Cities since his April 20 conviction, has argued that the ex-officer should get probation, while prosecutors are seeking at least 30 years, pointing to the irreparable harm his actions had on Floyd, the victim's family, witnesses, the community and even the nation. "We're not looking for revenge. We're looking at the seriousness of what happened," said Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, D., whose office is overseeing the prosecution of Chauvin and the other 3 officers implicated in Floyd's death. Ellison pointed to Judeah Reynolds, who was 9 when she and her cousin, Darnella Frazier, then 17, happened upon the scene of Floyd being restrained by Chauvin and the other officers. Both girls testified against Chauvin, with Frazier speaking of her fear of Chauvin and the enduring trauma and guilt she feels over not being able to save Floyd. "What do you expect a 9-year-old child to grow up thinking about the police? What do you think people looking at the video think of the police? How much damage has been done to the trust that needs to exist between the police and the community?" Ellison said. "He murdered a man, but he also murdered trust." Though the jury found Chauvin guilty on all 3 counts he was facing, Minnesota law dictates that he will face sentencing on only the most serious count, second-degree murder. State sentencing guidelines on that charge recommend 11 to 12 years in prison for someone with no criminal history. But last month, Hennepin County District Court Judge Peter A.